The Ladies Climbing Coalition and Queer Climbing Coalition are both monthly meetups here at Rockspot Peacedale, and these are spaces for people in the LGBTQ community and women to come together and make friends, meet new people, work out, and honestly just have fun.
Climbing has been around for, a while now, and even as a commercial sport, it's like relatively new in the industry in terms of like this is a thing that people do and hang out with as a social activity, and it is a male-dominated sport, and even if you climb in a place that is pretty well divided amongst genders and ethnicities and everything, you still see a lot of white men, and they take up space. And it's not always intentional, and it's not always, a bad thing, but it's hard to find similarly minded people if you're just going to a gym by yourself, or even if you have a friend that you go with. You're not likely to see someone who looks like you if you're not a straight white man. So having a dedicated space that is, it's going to be other people who are similar to you in gender identity or sexual orientation, and who think more like you and experience the world more like you, it's a more comfortable space to be yourself in.
Well, I like climbing because you have to kind of really focus, and the only thing you have to focus on in that moment is the next move, the next place you're going to put your hand, the next place you're going to put your foot. You don't got to think about anything else.
I like climbing because it is a physical workout, a mental workout, and a psychological workout. It just has all the things. It's constantly changing and dynamic. Yeah, it's just a really positive thing too, just cheering friends on, and it's always really nice to get to the top, but if I don't get to the top, it's not a big deal, and it's still a good workout, and I can try it again another time.
Yeah, I really like the social atmosphere, cheering each other on. I really like pushing my limits, and it is far more interesting than a treadmill at a traditional gym. Yeah, what's not to love?
Climbing is really wonderful for me because it's the best place to socialize. Even if you're here for 3 hours and everybody only climbs 2 or 3 things, you're still here doing a puzzle. Like maybe you're climbing, maybe you're not climbing, you're figuring something out together, or you're just cheering each other on, and it is just like the social atmosphere of doing it communally.
My interest in climbing has ebbed and flowed over the years, often coinciding with the atmosphere of the gym, right? If I've had a negative experience in the gym, then maybe I'm turned off from climbing for a little bit. And to be completely honest, climbing has been more of a back burner activity for me. But the LCC and the Queer Climbing Meetup are 2 things that bring me so much joy, and I really look forward to every single month. And it keeps me accountable in climbing, and having a community and consistent climbing partners makes it so that I look forward to climbing, and yeah, I keep myself accountable, but also have this whole network of friends within the climbing community. It's something that I really look forward to more than I ever have before.
I think being a woman comes into play a lot more in the gym than people might expect. We often have interactions with usually men, questioning our ability outright, beta spraying us. One time I even was told that you can't be pretty and be a good climber by a man, which was honestly pretty demoralizing. And there are certain individuals in the gym who most women actually know for this kind of behavior, and people will start avoiding those individuals. And that's not a good thing to have when you're just coming to have fun.
I started getting serious about climbing when I lived in California, and the attitude that I mostly encountered there from men was that you have to eat, sleep, breathe, bleed climbing in order to be taken seriously in the gym, and kind of get space on the wall outside or on boulders outside. And having groups of women and queer folks to climb with makes you feel a little bit more powerful, and like you don't have to commit every fiber of your being to climbing, that it can just be something that you enjoy and that you do deserve to have space. So I think just having these women and queer specific spaces allow you to feel like you belong more, regardless of your interest in climbing or level of commitment to it.
I've heard of other gyms where the owners are very creepy and handsy, and I'm like, okay, I'm never going in that gym because multiple people have said horrible things like that. So yeah, and I've also heard stories about people who had terrible experiences with their first time climbing because they had some dude bro that was like, rah rah, you just do it, like just climb up the wall.
One area I really think could be improved on is the diversity of the route setters, because most route setters in our gym and in climbing in general are straight men. And I will say I'm very confident that anyone in any body can be creative and tackle any climb they set their minds to. I do think that diversifying the route setters will help queer people and women feel more valued in this space.
The great thing about the queer rock climbing meetup, that it's a different atmosphere and there's no like gendered expectations. And like if I was in like a group of cis het people, I would feel like if I fell or like didn't pretend to be anything but strong and super knowledgeable, then as a trans mass person my masculinity would be in question, whereas I can just be and learn and enjoy the environment.
So LCC and queer climbing has really helped my climbing because it's such a supportive group. Like I'll try walls that I wouldn't normally try on my own because they just like give me the confidence to do it, and they just like believe in me, and it gives me like a boost to really go for it, you know.
I was at a point with my climbing journey where I was just coming in once a week, blasting out a bunch of things in 20 minutes, super tired, not even really having fun. And it was just a slump. And then having these groups to come to and have a community and people to talk to and climb with and make friends has really turned everything around. And I've fallen in love with climbing again because of it.
I really like climbing with the Ladies Climbing Coalition and with the Queer Climbing Meetup because the energy of the group is a little more relaxed. I feel like even when I'm climbing with my friends, my coworkers, sometimes I get very stressed out when I'm on the wall. I'm worried that people are watching me, that I'm gonna mess up on something that like they've already done or they figured out how to do, and I must be silly for not realizing it. And I never feel like that among people who are a little more like me in the Queer Meetup and in the Ladies Climbing Coalition. It feels very supportive. I enjoy being cheered on a lot more because I feel like everything is coming from a much more like wholesome attitude, and so it's just like mellow and nice, and everybody wants that.
Being able to attend the Ladies Climb group and the Queer Climb group has given me the opportunity to learn skills I otherwise would not have learned from more experienced climbers who are part of the group, who are willing to teach us, and also giving me the support and encouragement that I needed to feel confident in trying to climb the wall, even when I felt like, oh, I can't do that. There's people here who are varied in their experience, but everyone is non-judgmental. Everyone is willing to accept new people of all different climbing levels and provide encouragement for them to keep coming back and to develop their skills. And especially having a group of women and non-binary people who often can be pushed to the side in rock climbing gyms. You know, sometimes people need that encouragement when you aren't seeing yourself represented on the walls. So it's really nice to have this little community that we've built.
I am so excited by how much diversity and community building we've been able to accomplish through these meetups, but we still have a long way to go to improve racial diversity and disability access in climbing. I really hope that groups like the Ladies Climbing Coalition and Queer Climbing have started to open doors for even more folks with intersecting identities and diverse backgrounds to try climbing.